Information, making a question, our relation to the nation, all religion, supersonic, my existence can't resist us. Clearly I find myself living inside a shell. All of these pages can't help. Got all my introspect, mirrors they don't reflect all of the things that we do. My existence. What's that?
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Happy Memorial Day to all my burger friends out there. Hope you guys have some good plans for today. And if you're a tennis fan, it's actually a super sad day. Before the stream, girlfriend and I got up at like 5 in the morning to watch Rafa play, which is probably going to be his last French Open. So not sure how many tennis fans we got here today, but if you know anything about me, you know I'm a huge tennis fan, a huge Rafa fan. So sad moment for tennis history right now, watching the GOAT go down in the first round against probably one of the top players in the world. So sad about it, but it is what it is. The consolation prize is that the coins are pumping. So I hope everyone's happy today and not bickering on the timeline and not arguing about which coin and which meme is better. I hope we're just vibing with the good, the green, and the beautiful. Let's see who's in chat. I saw Richard's back in chat. Good to see you, brother. A lot of new faces. What's up, boys? What's up, Chris, Pablo, Jags, Mark, El Shivo, Hero, Lucidity. Yeah, a lot of new faces in here that I don't usually see. What's up, Timothy? Timothy's a stream regular. Love that. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's been a great ride, Pablo. It's been awesome, man. Anyone know what Chainlink does? When I look it up on Reddit, I don't understand what people are talking about. Don't worry about it, bro. Look at the chart. Is it going up? If it's going up, it's a good coin. If it's not going up, it's probably not a good coin. That's pretty much how crypto works. We're not here to be Warren Buffett and find undervalued coins 24/7. We're here to be trend followers. And if you know anything about me, you know trend follower. And I'm just going to be focusing on coins that are above 4-hour trends, above daily trends, above weekly trends, and we defend those coins when they're at support, and we ride those and not worry about what's lagging. Yeah, Rafa's been he's been a phenomenal ambassador for our sport since pretty much day one, dude. Sad about it. What's up, boys? Love to see that MHC coming out. Alrighty. If you guys could do me a favor right off the top, just hit the like button for me. I promise I won't ask a million times, just once or twice maybe. Appreciate it. This week we actually have a new stream sponsor. I hope you guys saw it in like the thumbnail, which is Pear Protocol. Pear is run by a good friend of mine, Huff, who I did a podcast with last year. He actually inspired me to start doing a podcast. I did like 5 or 6 episodes. Haven't really done one in a long time. I should probably get back on that. But shout out Huff if you're in the crowd watching. And we're going to talk about some pair trades today. If you guys know me, I actually love taking pair trades. But up until pairs come out, we really haven't had an opportunity to directly trade 2 assets. I know like on Binance and stuff, you could trade stuff against Bitcoin, I believe. There are some Bitcoin pairs. There's like an ETH BTC pair. But it's really a trading strategy from older cycles that's really not prevalent anymore. And one of the things you guys saw me doing recently was charting and trading with against Pepe. I think these two meme coins in particular have been like the A and B, maybe the A and A plus, however you want to look at it, memes of this cycle. I look at Pepe as the best meme probably on the internet, or the most recognizable, most repeatable, most memeable meme on the internet that, you know, goes well beyond crypto. And then WIF is probably the best meme that CT's ever made. I don't think, off the top of my head, I don't think CT's ever created a better meme. I think it's going to stick around. I think there's a lot of opportunity in width, but if you just chart these two things against one another, you can kind of see that they just exchange mind share, and they exchange the bid, and they exchange strength. So when we got this range breakdown here, this is a banger pair trade where you could be long one asset, short another asset. And basically you're just betting on the winners, right? You're not really trying to say, I want this one to go to 0 and I want this one to go to 100. I'm basically just betting on one coin to outperform the other. And pairs allowed us to do that. So yeah, we'll be talking a little bit more about that a little bit later, but we should probably always start off with Bitcoin. I don't even know. Should we start off with Bitcoin? Probably start off with Ethereum now. I think the market dynamics are going to be, I think they have shifted, and I think they're going to remain shifted at least for the next few months. I think finally we have substance to call an ETH BTC bottom. There's a lot of PTSD on this one, I'm not gonna lie, like myself included. I think everyone here at some point or another has tried to call an ETH BTC bottom, but it's been hard to argue with the chart for a while. The first time that I got bullish on ETH BTC was when we swept the 2022 low. So let's pull it up here. Right, when we got this sweep, I was pretty damn bullish ETH BTC. I was looking at this as a higher low, looking at this continuation, and this bleed was just, it's painful for literally everyone, right? So we haven't put in a higher high yet. We haven't definitively broke the downtrend yet. We're still in a lower high situation, but there is a narrative for the first time with the ETF approval, right? So with the ETF approval is going to come, ETF flows is going to come, TradFi flows, and whether or not we see that strength play out today or next week, or we wait for the actual ETF to go live and the actual flows to start piling in, and for Grayscale to unload their ETHE, and we start seeing sustainable strength. I think this first time it is probably not a stupid idea to call bottom on ETH BTC. So the market dynamics have shifted. I think, if you've been paying attention, this whole cycle has been dominated by Sol ETH. And what I mean by that is that Sol ETH has been your risk barometer, right? Altcoins are going to get the bid when Sol ETH is strong, right? It's as simple as that. When Sol ETH is strong and Sol ETH is green, your altcoins have done phenomenal this entire cycle, this entire bull market. And ETH, unfortunately, or at least, in a humorous fashion, has been a top signal. Anytime we're getting an ETH bid or an ETH BTC green candle, it's been a local top. It's been kind of like, hey, let's risk off. Maybe the next 2, 3, 5 days aren't going to be that lucrative. Let's take some profits out. We're getting a little frothy. We're rotating the ETH, right? So it's been this kind of hilarious market dynamic. And I'm interested to see if that dynamic shifts, because one of the things that's going to happen, and let's start with Bitcoin dominance. One of the things that's going to happen is let me actually pull up the EMAs real quick before I get into this. One of the things that's going to happen if ETH BTC is strong and ETH BTC starts breaking out and ETH BTC starts going to 70 and 75 and back in range high and back to this kind of, a lot of value was traded in the 65, 70s, it's going to put pressure naturally on Bitcoin dominance, because Ethereum is the largest market cap coin outside of Bitcoin. Ethereum being strong against Bitcoin is going to put a lot of pressure on Bitcoin dominance and may end up breaking the trend that Bitcoin dominance has been in pretty much since FTX. So if we go down to the bottom of this chart, this cluster right here, this red candle was FTX, right? That was what we consider marking the bottom of the bear market and the start of the bull market. And you guys can see that Bitcoin dominance has been in an uptrend ever since then. So if ETH BTC now starts outperforming, it might be the end of the Bitcoin dominance uptrend. And that doesn't mean that Bitcoin dominance per se is going to be Pico topped. I know I have a squiggly here. This is just, don't worry too much about this, just an idea. But it doesn't have to mean the Pico top of Bitcoin dominance is in. All it really means is that the significant strong uptrend of a Bitcoin dominated market could be at an end, and we could see more of a range, right? We could see a low, we could see a break in structure, we could see, an SFP of a high, we could see a low here again. The dynamics of Bitcoin dominance may shift with ETH BTC dominance, and that's something I wanted to just get off and talk about right at the top of the stream today. So one thing that I'm interested in watching, and we'll talk about in a few minutes, kind of my expectations for ETH on the USD pair. Make sure I didn't miss too much in chat. Yeah. Chainlink is important, but as far as should I pull up the Chainlink chart? Actually, I don't even have it on my watch list anymore after it broke weekly trends. Yeah, so I mean, you can, horizontal lines are very what's the right word that I'm looking for here? They can lead your bias. You can put them anywhere you want. You can define your bias as bullish or bearish, but you can't argue with trends, right? You can't argue with market structure. You can't argue with trends. You can't argue with the weakness of spending a lot of time in a certain value, trying to break out of that value. And when push comes to shove and the market's weak, it's not bidding these things at higher values. It's actually retreating to the last point of support, right? That for me is not a trend. That for me is not strength. I know we're getting a lot of strength right now, but this is not something that I'm going to put too many chips in or way too heavily as far as a strong coin until I see a little bit more. Because Link has just done just that this cycle. It's had short bursts of strength, and then it's just kind of underperformed everything. It hasn't had a sustainable bid. It hasn't had a sustainable narrative. And until that really develops, I don't think it's really worth your time focusing too much on Link. Buy bonk instead, dude. To be honest, that's the real left curve strategy. In crypto, really the most speculative assets go up the most. The most fundamentally based assets have the hardest time going up. This market thrives on speculation. So, that's not a concept that a lot of people are comfortable with, but, that's why you come into crypto. You come to crypto for the outsized gains. You come into crypto for the irrational trends and the parabola. And naturally, meme coins are going to provide that in a much better manner than something that is fundamental, right? You can look at the stock market for an example. Fundamental based coins are not going to go up. Coins that provide dividends, coins that are, have fair PE valuations, are not going to provide the same outsized returns as pure speculation. You guys can see what's happening with NVIDIA right now, which is, there is something to it. Obviously, AI is one of the greatest creations that we've ever made, but at the same time, it's being fueled by speculation. We're pricing in perfection. We're pricing in, the absolute best of the best for NVIDIA, the same way we did with Tesla in the last bull market, right? We did the same thing. You priced in robo-taxis, you priced in the valuation of Starlink and Neuralink, because those aren't publicly traded companies, and they're just kind of like, oh, let's do the Elon connection. You're pricing in basically perfection across every asset. You're pricing in that Tesla will, own all the electric chargers in the nation, in the United States, and all electric companies are going to have to use a Tesla charging network. You're basically, what I mean, pricing in perfection. And we kind of do that same thing in crypto, just in a very fast fashion. We run with ideas. And when you have fundamentals attached to stuff and you have actual metrics to track, people start looking at that and going, well, are they actually performing to expectations? Which that's really what the game is about, is finding coins, riding the speculation, riding them until you feel like you've, ridden it till momentum is losing. And then you can rotate, right? I think that's what this cycle's been about thus far. What's up, Magus? I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat, man. Pleasure to have you here. I'm such a boomer. I remember Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras. Yeah. I grew up with those guys too. Yeah. Agassi was my idol when I was 6 years old. Moved on to Hewitt and then been at a doll stand pretty much ever since. The Apu slander is out of pocket? Did I say anything about Apu? No idea what you're talking about, brother. I say a lot of stuff, man, so I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. What's up? Monica Sellis. If it's ever going to outperform, it should be now. I think you're talking about Link. Yeah, probably with RWA. I was sold on Link last year as being the RWA bid. That hasn't panned out whatsoever. It's been short bursts of strength. ONDO has really been your RWA leader. There's a lot of lower cap, market cap coins that we'll talk about in the RWA category as well. For some reason, my EMAs won't register with the whole Bitcoin dominance chart. Actually, mine struggles with that too. Mine struggles with anything that's not crypto. For some reason, I don't know how they're coded, to be honest. But everything that's in crypto is totally fine. If I go to a stock, if I go to Coinbase, these are incorrect, right? These are not the daily 100, daily 200. These end up being the daily 100, 200. A little bit confusing, but pretty much the exact same thing with Bitcoin dominance and total 3. They don't act appropriately. So if you're using my indicators, just be aware of that. to Brandon. Good call there. Yeah, if you don't like the video, your coins are going to zero. Good morning, Yashek. Why do meme coins move much faster? Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I was just saying, is that, you know, the market thrives on speculation. There's nothing holding it back. We know that it's pure irrationality. It's pure bid. It's pure, like, there is nothing to the coin. There are no fundamentals. You are just trading attention, right? There's nothing else to it. You're trading momentum, you're trading attention, you're trading hype. And at the end of the day, that's what crypto is, right? You are trading momentum, attention, and hype on even fundamental coins. And that's really what drives price action. Also, there's the argument about, you know, meme coins being fully diluted right off the bat. There's no supply overhang. There's no VCs. There's no insiders dumping on you. There's no TWAP coming in from staked coins. There's nothing like that. There's nothing to add sell pressure, which is actually a problem that we saw with Bonk recently. Like, Bonk is not really a meme coin. Bonk, I think Bonk is like a fake meme coin. Obviously it's performing well, right? So we don't argue with that, but there is supply overhang. There is insiders dumping. There is a team dumping coins on the market. It is a different, you know, it is a different dynamic than something like a WIF, which is purely a meme coin, purely a community-driven meme coin. Do you think we're entering a new risk-on phase? It's tough to say. So I'll just go back and talk about, you know, the journey with Bitcoin over the last few months. When we got to this region right here and we lost the 4-hour trend, right? So the way that my system works, and this is no, like, you know, rocket science here. When you lose the trend that carries you, you're going to enter a period of correction into the next dominant trend. So we lose the 4-hour trend, we correct in the daily trend, right? Which creates a chop environment between these two, right? We lose the daily trend, we correct into the weekly trend, which creates a chop environment in between these two. We look at this entire thing, what we've done is form a macro range, right? We formed a range between, you know, 72, 71K and about 60K, right? However you draw your horizontal lines, again, is irrelevant. You guys can just eyeball this and see that it's a range. The way that I've played range breakouts this entire cycle, whether it's down here at the 30Ks, whether it's up here, you know, post ETF listing, is just look at flows. If spot is healthy, if spot TWAPs are firing off, if you're getting acceptance outside of the value area high or range high, however you look at it, that's a very good condition for a markup and risk on period. We're not there yet on Bitcoin. We may be starting to form it, but I would rather be patient and just, you know, position off the lows and then just be patient, right? I don't need to apply any type of bias to trading here when I know that I already took the good positions off the weekly trends. And if you guys have been watching the streams for a month now, you know, we did a stream, you know, after the puke where I told you guys, I'm buying Solana at the weekly trends. I'm buying Render at the weekly trends. I'm buying Prime at the weekly trends. ONDO didn't have a weekly trend, but the same day that all those corrected, this is what the ONDO puke looked like. Bought that. PEPE, weekly trends. So we position where we have a high time frame invalidation, and then we just let the market do the rest of the work, right? So I don't really need to worry too much about if Bitcoin's breaking out today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. I think, you know, like I said, we get acceptance above 72, 73, right? Pretty much where we've been canned this entire time is like 71, 72. So we start getting acceptance up here. You start getting a spot-led bid. I think you're ready for expansion and an extreme risk-on rally. But you know, where we stand right now, we're still at resistance. I think ETH is more interesting to look at versus Bitcoin, and we'll talk about that now. So similar situation on ETH. I tweeted out last week before the approval. Like I think the exact verbatim tweet that I put out was like, I don't care about the ETF. Like, ETH looks good. We're flipping the daily downtrend. We're flipping local market structure, right? This is where I want to be long this. And literally the next day we got this move, right? Obviously news induced move, but nonetheless, you position yourself for the best. And then these things just happen to fall in your lap, right? That's just the way trading is. You position yourself where you think you have it like a EV positive position, right? When you think the market's on your side, when you have pocket aces, right? You have to play your pocket aces. And these things just tend to happen. So where we are on ETH now, extremely strong trend respecter. Over the weekend, ETH has just been grinding up, right? And I think the way ETH is the market's underexposed. The market is shifting capital. You've seen this on coins like, or on pairs like Sol ETH, where you know, Solana hasn't really got the bid. People, you know, the mind share has been in ETH. People kind of mentally know that, you know, boomers or TradFi is coming to buy our bags, right? And I think the way you can look at this, if you have patience, right, and you have patience and you have wide stops, you can kind of look at this and be like, you have a free trade on ETH, pretty much. And nothing's ever truly free, but I'm using this very like liberally. You have a free trade on ETH from here to all-time highs, right? You have a narrative behind it. You have market structure behind it. You have bid, you have strength, you have under allocation on the market. You have local trends. You have everything going for you on ETH, and I don't see why you don't get a free trade on ETH to all-time highs. So, you know, there could be a situation where, and these are all if-then scenarios. It's very hard to predict these things, but you can have a scenario where ETH BTC continues to be strong, ETH continues to get the bid, Bitcoin gets, you know, Bitcoin's still confined to a range. Maybe it goes up a little bit with it, right? Maybe we just go make nominally higher highs and do something like this, right? But this move right here is completely ETH led, and ETH goes to all-time highs, you know, and Bitcoin just kind of lags around. And then we get maybe a correction in the market, and then, you know, a general market risk on phase a little bit later, right? These are the dynamics I'm looking at. No love for Federer. Of course, there's love for Federer, man. Let me actually tell you a little sidebar story. When I was growing up, like, this is just irrational kid brain, right? Teenage brain or kid brain. I was looking at, like, you know, very audacious goals for myself. Why not dream big? Why not say that I'm going to win more Grand Slams than Pete Sampras, who had the slam record at, you know, 14 slams, right? And I was dreaming big. I was like, I'm going to win 15 slams. I'm going to win 15 slams. And along comes Federer, starts winning 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 in like 2 years, 3 years, and just racking them up. I started like hating Federer, hating him, because I'm like, this guy's going to make my job harder for me. He's going to win so many slams. He's going to make me win 17. He's going to make me win 18. And I started loving Rafa because I'm like, dude, this guy's the nemesis. He's just wrecking Federer. And, you know, I only had that mindset for a few years, to be honest, when I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. But subconsciously, I just had this like subconscious, you know, dislike for Federer that just stuck around with me. And that didn't go away till I was like 17, 18, where I'm like, oh, that's such a ridiculous reason to hate on a GOAT. But nothing but love and respect for Roger. I'm actually kind of sad that I spent so much of his career not rooting for him and just like enjoying the greatness that was Federer. Buy Pepe's girlfriend. No thanks, brother. No thanks. Why would I buy Pepe's girlfriend? I think there's a lot of good Pepe derivatives. I don't know what you're talking about, but, you know, Apu is a banger. And I think one thing that the market is discounting is WOJAK, which is, again, one of the most used memes in culture, internet culture, crypto culture. And it's super discounted. I think it's trading at like $80 million market cap. I think that's another free repricing trade to like quarter billion, 250 million, 300 million. I think it's just going to grind its way up there. I think it's a mispriced coin for a meme that we use literally every single day. Is Bitcoin the ultimate meme coin? Debatable, sir. Debatable, but you can make that argument. If you want to make the argument that Bitcoin is the ultimate meme coin, then every coin in crypto is a meme coin, right? We could go down that path and say that. Why not? Let's take a look at total 3. I mean, how clean is this chart? When we were up here late March and I was getting a little risk off with Bitcoin, as I told you guys a little bit earlier, losing the 4-hour trends, which, by the way, I've talked on stream so many times about how majors gave you the perfect risk off signal. This is a 90%, 80 to 90% rally on ETH held by the 4-hour trend that lost trend. And basically look at what it turned into afterwards, right? It gave you the perfect risk off signal. So when we started getting these kind of toppish signals on the charts on some of these coins, I think I tweeted out something about total 3 being like, look, you guys need a bid, you know, at 600 billion, confluent with the weekly trends. Let's pull up the weekly trends one more time and just show this. But like the cleanest signal, where I spent 3 weeks to a month on CT feeling like I was the only bull on the market on these coins, and while people are calling cycle top, which I thought was ridiculous, but, you know, it is what it is. People are entitled to their opinions. You know, differing opinions make a market. So we're happy that we have counterparties that disagree with us, which brings us the opportunity to, you know, put our money where our mouth is and, you know, reap the rewards when we're correct. But the fact that people were calling cycle top here is just, I mean, in hindsight, all of you guys in chat are going to agree with me that this looks ridiculous. But in the moment, you know, for the first week and the second week and the third week and the fourth week, everyone is doubting themselves and going, what if the cycle top's in? What if, you know, this person and that person is correct? What if I never sold? Am I going to round trip? Do I, you know, bear market PTSD? But if you just look at the charts, they look incredibly clean. By the way, this is what Bitcoin looked like at that same moment. I mean, how hilariously, you know, how hilarious does this look in hindsight? Just flipping last cycle's weekly SR, resistance, deviation, rejection, one attempt on the double bubble to try to hold this level of support on the weekly, multiple days and weeks spent trying to reclaim this level. Let me go down to the lower time frame. And by the way, I talked about all these things on stream over the last few weeks. I've been covering this in Paragon. By the way, if you guys want to check out Paragon, there's a link in the description box below. This is where I really take the charting and game plans to the next level. But anyways, a bunch of chop trying to hold that region to support, or excuse me, trying to reclaim that region, and you're just getting constant rejections at 58K. And if you go back to, you know, the weekly chart here, it just looks ridiculously clean. Weekly trends that we've been established as holding for this entire cycle. We've developed a meta for holding weekly trends. We hold weekly trends again. We SFP the lows. We take everyone's stops when they're bullish about, hey, well, we tagged 60K and everyone's saying, oh, we lost 60K. We're going to get 53K. And we basically just run everyone's stops into the weekly trends, finally tag the weekly trends. And we're, you know, we squeeze so hard, we don't let anyone in. It's been a beautiful trade over the last month. Yeah, Federer and Rafa, we can also throw Novak into that. I think, you know, objectively speaking, if we just remove all bias and we just look at records, Novak's probably the GOAT. He's not my GOAT, but he's probably the GOAT. I don't even know if I can say probably anymore. He is the GOAT, but he's not my GOAT, emotionally speaking. Yeah, I agree, Henry. I agree. He's super fun to watch. Keep putting my money where my mouth is and choking on it, bro. You're doing phenomenal. Stop coming in here with that cap. Chingo's the boy. He's been performing. He's been outperforming for a long time. I don't know why you come in here with that cap, brother. All right, let's take a look at some of the leaders. So I think I put in the either the stream, not in the stream title, but when I tweeted out that I was live, talked about how, you know, what is the real ETH beta? And this is, again, something that I tweeted last week. I think either the day before the approval or the day of approval. I can't remember exactly when I tweeted it, but I was basically saying the most discounted view or the most overlooked view on the market when people are searching for ETH beta are going to be the RWA coins. And again, this is a very left curve thesis. It's very simple and easy to understand that RWAs will be strong when you have the guy that's leading the ETF narrative in Larry Fink being one of the most, what would you call it? Being the leader of the TradFi voice when it comes to crypto this cycle, talking about tokenization on live TV all the time. Anytime he talks about Bitcoin, he talks about tokenization, talks about how bullish he is on tokenization. So if we want to bet on tokenization, the only way to do so is with RWA coins in the market. And ONDO being the strongest one of the pack in the strongest uptrend. And I think this was a complete no-brainer play. And I think it's going to continue being strong. I don't know how much upside we have from here. And I don't want to say that, you know, I have a lot of exposure to ONDO. It's one of my biggest bags. It's one of my top 4 bags, but you know, the fully diluted valuation argument doesn't come into play until fully diluted valuation starts getting to ridiculous values where it's like 30 billion FDV, 25 billion FDV. And in those ballparks, it starts getting tough for people to bid these coins. So something to watch out for. I don't think we're there yet. I believe that we're at like 10 or 11 billion FDV, which I think can continue still marking up. But at a certain point, it's going to get too expensive to buy. And there are going to be coins in this market that look phenomenal, like Dusk, an RWA coin that held its weekly trend amongst the entire correction, reclaimed its daily downtrend, gave you a signal, of the combination of both, and is trading in a beautiful uptrend right now. Broken market structure on all metrics, and looks phenomenal. I think this is a coin for bidding. I think pullbacks on dusk are for bidding, and I think it's going to trade to new all-time highs over the next few weeks and months. So definitely one to watch out for. People are really trying to bull post ENA and Athena. A lot of people are really bullish on Athena as far as ETH Beta goes, and I see the trade. The chart looks clean, reclaiming daily downtrend, deviation of the lows, holding the 4-hour trend. The last battle is going to be the listing VWAP. The listing VWAP here, which is, something that ENA has respected both to the top and the top side and the downside. So flipping the listing VWAP is going to be a very strong signal for continuation. Right here is not really a place where I would want to bid for anything other than intraday or a quick rotation. I think the swing trade opens up a little bit later, so we're going to have to see a little bit more on Athena before I'm super bullish on that. What up, new bro? Is it just me or the video isn't clear even at 1080p? I'm watching it right now, so I got another screen where I'm looking at it. It's not crystal clear. I can agree with you that it's not, pixel perfect crystal clear on the stream. But I think it's legible. Like, you can still see all the tickers. You can read everything. You should be able to see everything. I wouldn't consider it blurry. But yeah, I agree with you that it doesn't look, on my end even, it doesn't look like pristine 4K HD. 720p. Yeah, I guess it does look a little 720p. Yikes, bro. Okay, don't flame me that hard. I don't know if it's 480p. All right. So we talked about ONDO. Let's continue the march. PEPE, is there really anything to say about PEPE other than it's strong and we're awaiting the prophecy of the SHIB flipping? I don't think there has been and I'm gonna fully, cash in the clout on this one. I don't think there's been a louder person on the timeline than me talking about the SHIB flipping since down here, man. Since June of last year. So it's been a full year since I've been talking about this trade, talking about where I'm buying, talking about being comfortable going underwater, talking about my bullishness on the SHIB flipping. And if we just pull up again a pair chart right here, where is it? Look at the wrong ones. Right. If we just, this is a nice visualization where I don't really have to pull up the, CoinGecko market cap. I can just know exactly where the flipping is going to occur. And it's going to be right here at 140. We're trading right around 70. It's just a smidge over a 2x remaining. It doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't have to happen this month. But I think it's an inevitability, and I think more people are coming around to that idea, and now they're, LARPing and saying, "Oh, it's always obvious. It's always obvious. Of course, it's gonna flip SHIB. Your targets are too low, Doc. You need to raise your targets." They wasn't with me shooting in the gym, bro. They wasn't with me down here, and now everyone wants to be on this train. But I think it's inevitable. But one thing about consensus targets, they're a little tricky. They're a little dangerous. And if they're going to get hit, they're not going to get hit when everyone's expecting it. So right now, PEPE's in the spotlight. Structurally speaking, there's nothing bearish here, right? It looks phenomenal. It's holding the 4-hour trend. I have a little fractal on here. You can ignore this, but sometimes I look at those things for fun. It's holding the 4-hour trend. It can't be bearish on this until the 4-hour trend is lost. If and when it's lost, correction in the daily trend. For now, it's just grinding higher, right? And I don't want to be bearish on this. I'm just going to let it continue to play out. But we are seeing a bid across the market elsewhere, which could take away from this one, right? Money can rotate. People can say, wow, I got a phenomenal 40-50% run on PEPE. Let me TP, let me move money around. Definitely a possibility. With the resurgence of WIF, I think WIF looks phenomenal. I think money and attention can rotate back to WIF, especially what I talked about on the pair chart here, which, by the way, you can trade this asset. You can trade with PEPE on Pear protocol, which maybe I can pull up Pear. Maybe I'll have to do it the next stream. I have to figure out how to show the exchange without doxing my wallets and stuff. So we'll have to figure that out in a future stream, but I'll probably do a tutorial on pair trading as well on that website. But just as a pure visualization, I don't think this is a perfect place to bet on the resurgence, but soon enough, I do think I do think we're going to reclaim these daily trends, and there's going to be a whiff dominated rally sooner than later. And I think that's going to be a very nice pair trade where you can short Pepe long whiff and just bet on the outperformance of whiff to occur. But getting a little sidetracked there again. Nothing really bearish to say about Pepe. I think it looks phenomenal. Whether or not it puts in a local top soon and gets you a correction of the daily trends, it really doesn't matter to me. I think, I think they could shake people out just with chop once again, right? People can get very shaken out with just chop. So yeah, I'm patient. I'm going to out-patience you. And I know the prophecy is going to come true sooner or later. Next one, Prime. Very thankful that I got my bids on this one, bids filled on this one. Bread and butter, weekly demand, weekly trend overlap. Dipping, I got a really good fill on this one. I got it in at 13.9. I'm still holding those. I think new all-time highs, and at the very least, this is the worst case scenario I see, is that it's not really able to put in the largest, expansion, and it kind of just deviates in here. But nonetheless, the value of taking this trade, I think, is extremely high expected value, especially because Prime has like AI attached to it somehow or another. I don't really know the fundamentals, but it's the strongest gaming coin in the market, in my opinion. Look at the trend that it's had on the weekly time frame, respecting weekly trends multiple times, marking up again and again. So I think it's going to do that once more. I don't think it's too late to get into this one. I think it's just starting to flip bullish daily market structure here. So, dips are for buying on Prime, and I think it takes you to range highs. The next one's Render, which is kind of funny. One of the strongest coins off the lows, phenomenal strength off the lows, and then it's just kind of been ranging for a few weeks now. And I think the reason for this is people were front running the chat GPT-4 upgrade, as well as like NVIDIA earnings and stuff. So kind of AI was hot. It's just kind of ranging around right now. It is holding daily trends. It's holding mid-range. And you have a very clear invalidation for longs here. Basically losing the daily trend, take you to the weekly trend. Holding here, we should mark up to range highs sooner or later. Once again, a coin that's going to require some patience, as it's not particularly in the spotlight right now. Moving on to Solana. I saw a lot of bearishness. I don't know about you guys, but I saw a lot of like turbo bear posting on Solana when it looks like this. Does this look bearish to you guys? It does not look bearish to me in the slightest. In the slightest, man. I mean, one of the best movers off the weekly trends, breaking all bearish market structure in a very bullish daily uptrend, holding the daily trends right now. I think this continues to trade up. Whether or not it has completely blowout performance against Ethereum does not matter to me. Once again, like Sol ETH on a high time frame isn't a beautiful uptrend, right? Does it look like, maybe it's starting to get distributive? Potentially, but it's still in an uptrend. It's still in a weekly uptrend. And whether or not it puts in rallies like this against ETH from here on out doesn't really matter to me, because it'll at least trade at parity. It'll at least range around, right? I don't think you're going to get unbelievable outperformance by holding ETH versus Solana for the rest of the cycle, but you may not get complete Solana outperformance either. So I don't think there's a real case to be made for like trying to trade this pair. I think it's more fair valued by the market. This was kind of the undervaluation, right? Where you had an extreme opportunity to trade Solana back to proper market valuation, back into a top 5 coin in the industry. And you've done so, right? But I don't think, oh my God, it's ETH season now. Solana's going to zero. You're going to get your bids on Solana. I've heard people saying they're going to buy Solana at $100 and they're going to buy Solana at 80. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. I shouldn't be so confident. I shouldn't say never should, never should say never. I don't know how that phrase goes, but never say never, right? That's what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I think this was your pressure test. This is 6 weeks of holding the weekly trend, a big push up, a reclaim of daily trends. The Solana US dollar pair looks phenomenal. There's nothing bearish here for me. So I don't think the death of Solana is warranted. I do think there are some top signals. We can talk about the guy doing the Solana shitter rap song, Silly to a Billy. You could talk about the Real Housewives of Solana, these girls doing a reality TV show with Solana in the title. That's extremely toppish. You could talk about Ansem's Angels doing the OnlyFans thing. That's pretty, I don't even know what you would call it. Maybe it's top signal, maybe not, but nonetheless, getting a little wild. There's one more that I'm forgetting. Oh, I think Bankless did a thread on Solana recently. That's not great. So could the dominant outperformance part of Sol versus ETH be done for the cycle? Potentially. But is Sol going to zero? No. This US dollar chart looks too good. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the resolution. Hopefully it's legible enough. You're here for the charts, not for the 4K HD. Go to Magus' stream for that. ONDO big token unlocks in January 2025. Is it plausible to assume that we should sell before that? I think that's the natural strategy. I would go so far as to say that ONDO tops well before that unlock. Well before that unlock. I don't even think it's going to get to Q4. I think, let's say ONDO just continues strength and gets to $2 right now. I'd be comfortable saying that that's probably cycle top. Money will rotate, it'll form a big range, it'll do something like this. I don't think there's that much upside on ONDO. I think you've extracted maximum value. You've had the opportunity to latch onto this narrative for months now, from January to July. That's 6-7 months in crypto. That's a pretty long lifespan, especially for this cycle. We haven't seen coins be strong longer than 6 or 7 months at a time before long reaccumulation phases. So if you're looking to play the rotation game, this is my leading bias at the moment, is it probably tops somewhere, in this region, $2, $3. Once you get above $3, the valuation is going to start getting ridiculous, right? It'll be like $35 billion FDV, which it's going to be kind of tough to say that that's going to 10, I mean, like I said, this is one of my 4 biggest bags. I'm not trying to bear post my own bags. I'm just talking about, rational targets. What's the fractal from your Pepe chart? It was the Bitcoin fractal. It was the Bitcoin, ETF breakout fractal. How we had this just slow grind up right here. Pepe more or less was doing the same slow grind up. I just kind of fitted it for the purposes. And if you're curious where the top of that would be, it would be right around 40, right? Which would coincide with the flippening. I'm just doodling in my free time. Guys, don't think too much about it. Fractals are complete memes, but sometimes they're fun to look at. Tensor. Yeah, let's talk about Tensor. I do have a pretty nice stack bag of Tensor. Wow. So the trades that I've been in for Tensor are twofold, right? So I stack spot in this region, been buying the 80s. My cost basis is not perfect. It's not 74. It's not 75. I didn't nail the Pico bottom of this. I just simply accumulated in this region. And I'm looking for the Kingmaker trade on this, looking for, like $2-3. I think this is undervalued, right? Very rarely do I talk about fundamentals and valuations and stuff like that. I know we just talked about ONDO, so maybe a bad example, but I think something that leads volume on Solana, as far as NFT goes, one of the top NFT trading exchanges on Solana, I think it deserves a higher valuation than 100 million. I think it's at 130 million right now circulating. I don't see why we can't get this to 300 million, 400 million, right? So I'm taking this twofold, taking it on spot, right? And then I'm also trading around it, right? Just applying the system. 4-hour turn trades, reclaiming the daily trend, looking for the squeeze to the listing VWAP, TPing in here, TP'd yesterday, did not take this trade, right? Whatever pumps here, that's not there. I was looking for a deeper pullback, right? Down to the daily trend, did not get that yet. If I do get that at some point, that'll be another trade. If we do get above here, start holding value above the listing anchored, I think that'll be a good place to try to extract more value on the perp charts or in the perp exchanges. I think that's when you start getting expansion. So, for now, just range bound. I think we're going to get new all-time highs. I think we'll clear, this listing wick, the prophecy wick, at a certain point. If you guys don't follow Dentoshi, by the way, she has a lot of like experience trading these. I think it's one of her main trades this entire cycle has just been playing these airdrop coins. It's been her bread and butter. I think she's nailed like 5, 6, 7 coins that have just played out this way. And I've learned a little bit from her watching the way that she plays these coins and kind of just applying my system to her strategy. And it's worked out very well. So I think another one of these is W. I've heard XO and Motif talking about W. I haven't looked at this one myself. So one thing I'll tell you guys right off the bat, this is still underneath the daily trends, right? This is not as bullish as Tensor, right? Tensor already squeezed above the daily trends, much, much stronger. One step closer, right? One step closer to the Kingmaker trade down the line. W is not there yet. And also much higher valuation, fundamentals attached to this coin, and a lot of noise around it. A lot of people on CT are watching W. A lot of people with big followings are watching W. No one's really talking about Tensor. That one's kind of under the radar from my point of view. Where do you even eye a cycle top with the info you have now? Well, are you talking about like Bitcoin and Ethereum? I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I can tell you this, to be quite frank and quite honest. My tops, my targets on coins are always lower than other people. People always have much, much higher targets. I always have rational targets. And then I'm just, if the market wants to do more, okay, great. Like, let's fucking go higher. So I'm not going to be the guy that's telling you we're going to 250K and we're going to 300K. Like, that's not me. If I just had to pick a number out of a hat, I'd say like 120K on Bitcoin. I'd say a 2x outside of this all-time high. So if the all-time high is 69, maybe 140 max, but I'd say like 120 to 140 if I had to pick a number out of a hat. Where does that put ETH? I don't know, 7K, 8K. I don't think ETH is going to put in, I don't know if we're going to see new ETH BTC highs this cycle. I'm not that bullish on ETH because last cycle Bitcoin didn't really have a narrative and a bid and stuff like that going for it. This cycle it really does, and we'll see if that continues. But ETH BTC back to range highs, yeah, why not? I haven't really done the math of how that works out, so do it yourself. But what I'll say on ETH is like the psychological target on ETH is 10K. I don't think we hit 10K. That's my leading thoughts right now on ETH. I don't think ETH hits 10K. Yo, when do I get to suggest low cap shitters? I can look at some stuff for fun, dude. I'm in a good mood. I can look at some stuff on chain. We can pull up Deck Screener. Degen, the Fibo Queen. Yeah, Dentoshi's been killing it, man. What's her at? Let's put it. Yeah, you got it. So Anime got it. Here. That's I'm like 99% sure that's her at, dude. If you can't, you should be able to find her. She has like over 100,000 followers, probably 200,000 followers. You should be able to find her. All right. Chill with the low cap shitters. We'll get to it in a little bit. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. I think that's pretty much it. I wanted to talk about Sol ETH. I wanted to talk about how market dynamics could shift to ETH leading versus Sol leading and what that could mean for Bitcoin dominance and what that could mean for altcoins in general. We talked about the strong coins. We talked about the real ETH beta being RWA, expectations for AI. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover, to be honest. We can get into kind of the AMA side. Also, I prefer when people ask questions that aren't just, hey, look at this chart. Because my analysis, like when I apply my system to someone's chart, it literally comes down to it looks good, it doesn't look good. I used to have the patience to sit here and literally mark out triggers on 4-hour time frames and 1-hour time frames. But that's when I had a smaller audience on these streams and I didn't have to answer that many. Nowadays, when I do these, like it ends up being like 20, 30, 50 chart requests. And then I get really tired and I'm not able to do all of this. So like what I basically say is like, you know, your coin looks good, it'll probably perform pretty well, or your coin looks like shit and you should probably move on. One coin that I'm coping on right now is Token. I'm coping on this one. I don't have a position in this one. I wanted to get in this morning. I wasn't paying attention once again with Rafa playing. I didn't set any alerts. I wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking, hey, if I get a God candle through here, I want to long the pullback, and I didn't do that. So I'm a little annoyed that I didn't long Token here, because like this is a very clean breakout of a range. It's RWA attached to the name. I can't find a bearish point to this. I think this is going to rip to new all-time highs. Like held the weekly trends, formed a range, broke out of the range, flipped daily downtrend, holding the 4-hour trends, put in a lot of demand at range high, and then gave you the God candle through. Like this is chef's kiss beautiful for me, and I haven't made $1 off of it. Yo, the real question is what her friend's at is from her last post. Dude. We'll leave that to you, brother. Check. It's DMT. If it's on TradingView, I can just do it real quick. Yeah, it's on MEXC. It's all liquid as shit, but it's on MEXC. I mean, it's not much to say. Looks good. Like these coins, they give you really nice triggers of holding weekly trends, flipping daily downtrend, giving you these pullbacks, giving you opportunities to bid in them. If I remember correctly, DMT was a coin that I was trading last year in summer. I'm pretty sure I traded DMT on chain last summer. Is this the Arbitrum coin that moved from ARB to ETH mainnet? Because if so, I did trade this last summer when we had ETH on-chain season. It's kind of crazy. Is this really trading this high? What changed? Why is DMT randomly getting like a crazy bid now? Yeah, same coin? That's crazy. Yeah. Let's do a poo real quick. So I've been fortunate enough to ride a poo for multiples. And I just took a very left curve thesis on this one. It's a PEPE beta coin. And outside of that, it's a coin where the devs rugged. We don't have enough price history. I'd have to go to deck screener, but the devs basically rugged. Like it ran up like crazy. This is what the chart looks like. And it basically went to like zero because the dev like sold everything, and the community rallied behind it. And within like 3 or 4 days, it did a 20 something X back to all time highs. Right. And I looked at this and I go, that reminds me of PEPE. It reminds me of the same kind of idea where the PEPE, dev wallet got hacked. I don't even know what the story was there. There was FUD, and it reclaimed the levels at which that FUD started. Right. So that's very, very strong to me. And I basically just got it on the pullback, and then it led to this rally. Right. So that's my history with the poo. Where it is right now, I mean, from a range bound perspective, it looks like ass. From a trend perspective, it looks pretty good because this is your fake breakdown. This looked really bad yesterday. I was posting this in the Discords that, man, this looks turbo dog shit because you've put in a fake breakout, all this resistance at range high, fake breakout, lower high, and then lost trends, right? So it didn't look that great to me. Where it's standing right now, it has an opportunity to continue rebuilding here and breaking out once again. And if you do this, it's probably not going to look back. Like this is going to be a phenomenal trade to be had on PEPE if something like this forms over the next few days. But where you're standing right now, you're basically at resistance, and you're in a daily bearish market structure with lower highs and lower lows, right? So you're in bearish daily market structure. You briefly lost to the trends. You're trading underneath range high. It doesn't look as clean as it once did, but giving it a little bit of air to breathe, I think you can get a really nice trade on this one. Again, if I just talk about market cap and I talk about expectations, there is no PEPE bid on the market that I think is going to do phenomenally well. And what I mean by that is like $1 billion market cap, over $1 billion market cap outside of a poo. This is the coin that I think will get to $1 billion. If there's going to be one PEPE product, one PEPE Beta product that's going to get to the $1 billion market cap range, it's going to be this coin. Outside of all the spin-offs that are coming out nowadays, this one I think has the biggest pressure test. It underwent the biggest pressure test. It survived. It's thriving. It has a big presence. It's a meme that we use every day. I think it'll do well. And then the next one is going to be WOJAK, and I don't think this is going to be on here either. Oh, maybe it is. I've been looking at this as a deck screener. Okay, so one thing I just want to point out here, this is a weekly chart. This is not a daily chart. This is not a 4-hour chart. This is a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart on a meme coin that held weekly trends, had a parabolic move, held weekly trends, set a higher low, basically built new value higher than the last one, did not retreat back to the old value, did not need to recruit new buyers down here, and did it again, right? When I saw this a couple weeks ago, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why is WOJAK trading at $25 million market cap when we have 10th generation dog and cat coins trading at 300 million? This seemed like a very big mispricing trade opportunity, basically just taking this from undervalued to fair valued. And what I mean by fair valued is like $200 million, $300 million, somewhere in that ballpark, where all the meme coins are that we've heard about on CT. This is a meme that we use every single day. It doesn't make sense to me that it's trading anything less than that. So even at, 80 million today, 90 million today, something like that, still massively undervalued. I think it's going to do really well. Like memes like PEPE, Apu, and WOJAK, you don't need to show them. You don't need a cabal. You don't need insiders. You don't need reply guys. You don't need anything. They're memes we use every single day in Discord. Look at any Discord. Look at any team. Look at like Monad or any team like that. Like they just take Apus, they take Pepes, they take WOJAKs, they paint them to a different color, and that's their mascot. So like, if any coin's going to do well in the meme coin category that's undervalued right now, it's going to be the memes that we use every single day. Doc, do you have any strat for chasing a strong mover like PEPE? Not now, for the beginning of last week, for example. Beginning of last week. So Monday of last week. So right here. Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as price action and trends, right? So let me shift this over, right? I'll just use this as an example. Token is your example. Flip daily trends, holding the 4-hour trends. You have a clean SR, you have a breakout, you have an invalidation point, and you have a God candle through it, right? You have a strong candle through it where, buyers put in a lot of effort. You don't want to see this retraced. You don't want this to come all the way back down to support. You have an invalidation point built in with trends, price action, and SR. You basically buy into the pullback. You accept a little bit of drawdown and you look for trend continuation. And this is your invalidation. You just go to PEPE, it's the exact same thing, right? It's the exact same thing. You have your range high, right? You have a rejection. You have a daily trend tag, breakout, a little bit of a pullback, and continuation. Whether you get in on this candle or this candle or this candle, right? You've had multiple opportunities to get into this trade. You could even look at this one, right? An SFP. This is your, what do you call it? ETH ETF approval bid, right? Right. This is your ETH. I think it was pre-ETF, right? Pre-ETF liquidity wipe, right? I think even Magus took this trade. He got into this. He got in on this sweep. I mean, very clean. So PEPE's giving you multiple triggers to get long along this uptrend. Like, what I would just say is just keep it simple, man. Keep it really, really simple. HPOS, no thanks, man. HPOS, I don't even think it's broken out of like a range for like a year and a half now. I know it's an ETH coin, and I know it's like, man, I'm just going to do it now because I'm already talking about it. All right, let's do HPOS. What I'm going to say about this one, oh, it's at 20. Nice. But what I don't like is when you put in this much support, you fail to break out. You come back down, you're going back to the same range low regions, meaning there's no one out here that is so bullish on HPOS that they're chasing, they're accumulating, they're looking at opportunities to buy. They're basically just dumpstering this coin. This is the market's risk appetite for this coin. Anytime it gets sent, it fully burges. Like, why is, look at other coins in the market, look at other meme coins. Even WOJAK is doing better than this. I know this is a higher market cap, but at least that's showing me on a long enough time frame that it's continuing to set, you know, higher highs and higher lows. Will this pump? Maybe, sure. Why not? Right? But do I have faith that this coin is going to get a sustained, steady trending bid? I think it's had multiple opportunities to do so, and it's let us down every time. So why would I bet on it? I wouldn't personally. That's how I see it. You're sold, you'll buy some. A poo maxi now? Let's go. Nexus, you actually have like one of the best Apu meme folders, I think, on CT. The funniest one that you have, I think, is the stand-up comedian one where he's standing on the stool. That shit makes me laugh every time. I think there's a Bobo version of that too. But you're the first one I saw posting that. It's fucking hilarious. Can you do NPC? Nah, I think that's super low. Actually, man, I kind of said that I would. Let me think about it. We'll come to it. If you see me with deck screener up in a minute, I'll look at your shitcoin. Even Magus took one. I got the disabled one. I didn't mean it like that, brother. I meant like I don't even know how I meant it. That sounds awful. I don't even know how I meant it. Apologize. No disrespect meant. It's always after a coin does a 100x rally that people come in chat and saying you're missing out. You're missing out. It's time for this coin to outperform now that it's done a 10x on the timeline and everyone's missed out. Now it's the time to pay attention. It's a funny one. I don't know what I'd have to do some due diligence into why it's outperforming now, what the narrative is, what's changed. Did they change the tokenomics? Did they change the fundamentals? Is it a new catalyst? What's my comparable next market cap coin that I could say, well, this is undervalued compared to this coin, right? I'd have to do something like that. But I can't just blindly shill coins that have gone up without knowing. What's up, Reg? Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself? I'm still laughing at even Magus took this trade. So unintentional. WOJAK literally rechasing the whole weekend. It's because it's low market cap, right? When you have coins that are under 100 million, they just make these wacky 40% candles up and down. You know, I look at it just like as a levered position, right? Just look at it the same thing. It's like a 4% move on Bitcoin is a 40% move on a shitcoin. It's the same thing. Cass, yeah. Cass, I think, has been doing pretty well. I've not paid attention to Cass, but this looks pretty nice. The thing with Cass is it's been in a range for so long, and it's not fun to trade this coin. It's not liquid even to this day. Even at the market cap it's still not liquid. It's hard to get filled even on positions of like, I think like $5,000 market orders slip the book on this one. It's that illiquid on Bybit. So I mean, I look at Cass and I just say, you can't trade this on an intraday basis. You can't trade this on an intra-week basis anymore. You have to trade this on like daily charts and weekly charts. And when I want to trade daily charts and weekly charts, I want them to be in a trending environment and not a range-bound environment. So I mean, it looks fine. Like there's nothing bearish to say about it, right? It's still holding weekly trends. The most bearish thing I could say is that this is a failed breakout, right? This is an opportunity for it to expand. It got canned. It went back to the same value that it used to be at, right? It found support here for the second time. You know, who's to say that it's going to put in a crazy expansive move? Maybe at best it makes new all-time highs and then, you know, runs out of steam once again. If it does something like this, what's the RR of this position is like, what is this, a 50, 60% move? If you're looking to trade this on perps, You know, I wouldn't personally long this at range high. I would long this on a breakout, so that decreases the return again. If you're looking to buy this on spot, I think there's better coins out there. And I say this as someone who rode CAS for a long time. I was in CAS for this 10x. We don't even have enough price history here, but I was in a CAS for a 10x. And you know, it felt like to me at the time that it reached like proper market valuation from being undervalued to like somewhat fairly valued. But yeah, it looks good, man. Looks good. QNT, I guarantee you looks like AIDS. Yeah, it does. Looks terrible. It's been crabbing for 3 years, 2.5 years. It's not in any type of trend. It's not above the daily trend. It's not one of the coins that held the weekly trend. It's one of the few coins that continues to get bullied back down to its April 13th puke lows. There's multiple coins that have made higher highs. Link has made higher highs. I think it's, you know, this is the same category as Link. This is not a coin that the market wants to bid. Therefore, it's not a coin that I want to bid. I think it looks terrible. Jan, if you go to my Twitter and go to highlights on my Twitter, go to highlights. It should be the first or second highlighted tweet. It'll tell you all the EMAs that I'm using. Damn, bro. Tell me someone's long token right now. Tell me one of you guys is long token. Tell me someone's crushing this. Let me live vicariously through you. Even this move from this morning, 8% move. Yeah, it looks like AIDS. That's exactly what I said. All right. Is this the VELO? The one on KuCoin? Is this it? I know there's like Velodrome, and then there's another one that's VELO. I don't know which one is which. I know Jingo's not shilling me this shitcoin. I know Jingo's not telling me to look at this one. Okay, X chart. Okay. So this looks like I would not buy it until 13, 14. But that's one hell of a move, bro. That's one hell of a move. That's crazy. Congrats for getting this one. But yeah, I wouldn't buy this now until the weekly trend tag myself. The only other place that I would look at it is if we can hold like this region right here, like the last low that sent us to this high and continue this trend. If you could hold this region, you know, bounce around, maybe these things catch up, maybe we flip the daily downtrend here, right? That's the way that this gets front run. Those are the two ways, but more price action. No reason to catch this knife. Let's go. Caffeinated's long token. Let's go. You could count on someone from the clinic to be killing that one. That was a bread and butter, dude. That was a bread and butter one. I'm actually pretty upset that I didn't catch that, because I was like on my watch list all weekend. Like, keep an eye on this one, look for that breakout, take that trade. And it happened this morning, and I was too busy watching Rafa to set alerts to care. Times like this make me think, why do I still allocate capital to stocks? I mean, you know, the capital that I allocate to stocks is just Coinbase. Like Coinbase and all these like miners and stuff. I'm just still allocated to crypto, but we can't hide from the fact that NVIDIA, being one of the best companies in the world, has outperformed Bitcoin. Even Facebook has outperformed Bitcoin. So we can't shy away from that fact. But I think even like the boomer risk allocation is going to take them to crypto, right? I think like if you go back to the 2020 bubble, stocks ripped hard in 2020 off the COVID lows. They made new all-time highs. They were ripping into, you know, November, December, into the election, post-election, and crypto really went wild in 2021, like January, Q1, right? It wasn't until like January that Bitcoin made the move from 20K to 40K. And you could probably attribute that to some people from, you know, TradFi moving risk along their own risk curve from stocks to crypto. And you could see something like that playing out now as well, maybe, where we have two legitimate ETFs live, or, well, ETH is not live, but, you know, the flows are going to keep coming into these two. Boomers can keep betting on Beta, as they've just done so well on Nvidia and Facebook and all these other coins or stocks, and they can move along their own risk curve and come in and be like, well, every time Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, it does a 2x and a 5x and a 10x, and they can come in and they could literally just buy this top the same way they did, you know, in 2020 and 2021 and 2017, all these other times that Bitcoin broke out of all-time highs. So that's a possibility here as well, you know. And if you're in stocks, maybe pivot to crypto. I don't know. You're short Tensor here. Why short anything? But good luck to you. I see. I mean, I know it's at resistance, but why short anything? Is it even? No, it's breaking through. So if I'm assuming, let me assume your position, bro. You're saying you got a sweep right here into a POI, and you're looking for this to leave an SFP. Fair enough. I see the trade. Coinbase. I mean, Coinbase looks phenomenal. Like, you can't be bearish on this one. Here's your weekly chart. There's your weekly trends. There's your weekly SR. Here's your push up. There's your break in market structure on the daily. Right? The highs that set the low broke that market structure. We're kind of trading above it. Well, this one would count. But either way, held the daily, held the weekly, held the SR, held the yearly VWAP. I think it did everything it needed to do. I've been very greedy. I was trying to bid at 180, but I just moved capital into Coinbase myself last week. I just added to the position myself. I think it looks pretty good. I don't really care. See, like, you're saying 236 is resistance. Yes, it is. That you could draw a horizontal line here and you could say this is resistance, of course. But I don't care about this because my risk reward, my swing, my targets are so much larger than caring about this range. I don't care about trading this range. I basically care about, did we round out here? Did we hold support? Are we trading in the levels that we want to trade at? Are we getting the market structure breaks? Do we have invalidations on a high time frame span? And then what are our targets? And if our targets, my target specifically, is all-time high, this trade looks phenomenal to me, and I really don't care about 236. Yeah. I don't have CLSK anymore. I got really lucky. So Philippe in the clinic was shouting out CLSK, and I got in on this pullback. You know, again, brain dead, TA, SR, weekly trend, buy, get handed this rally. I didn't like how distributed this started looking, right? Like, this looks like junk to me. So I think I even sold like into a low. Like, I didn't take profits at a high. I just sold like into this somewhere at like 18, 19. I don't even know where I sold. I market dumped one morning and I haven't bought this back yet. But the fact that it continues holding this level means that I could just, you know, I can get back in on this one. I have a little bit of extra cash. I cashed out of the ETHE position. Basically was playing the ARB on this one because the discount dropped to 20%, and I just threw all my spare cash at this one and cashed out when the gap closed. I think it was like, so when I first thought about this position, it was at like 11% discount, and then it bled all the way to 25, and I started buying the shit out of this, just playing the ARB, and then I sold it when that discount moved from 25 to 6. So I didn't cash out at like 0, but it was at like 6, and basically close that position there. So I have cash. Probably could buy CLSK, but to be honest, I'm probably just gonna add more to Coinbase or use that capital to buy Coinbase calls. All right, let's go on chain. Let me pull up Dex Screener. Let me see if I can show my browser without doxing stuff. Let's do this one. I've never done this before. Hey, WOJAK's at new all-time highs. Love to see that. All right. think we're okay. All right, how's that look? Are we good? Are we on deck screener? We are. All right, let's go. Fuego. All right, just for you, Jingo. You've been asking me for a year to do this, so let's do it. Lead the charge. What's the first shitter we're looking at? My God, take pups off the list. Actually, let's look at pups. So this was kind of my idea for pups, is like I wanted it to trade and reaccumulate below this obvious level and break, let's see, the downtrend. Yeah, so it still hasn't done that. So if pups ever does something like this, I'd probably buy pups for a trade. How much bias can shift when you move a horizontal line, huh? This looks turbo bearish. This looks extremely bullish. That's why lines are memes. You have to understand what the market's trying to tell you around levels and not just blindly buy and sell levels. All right, it's going to be harder for me to now read chat now that I'm doing it this way. Sad my exchange don't have WOJAK to short. Why are, you know what, Nexus, you are the king of shorting in a bull market. I'm going to leave that to you, brother. I actually have no idea how you do it. Every time I see like a P&L card from you, it's like you've caught the Bitcoin within $5 of the high. I have no idea how you do it. NPC. Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. It's still stuck on the WOJAK chart because I haven't changed it. I'm trying to read chat. I have to flip through tabs now to read chat versus look at coins. So what are we looking at first? Michi, I think someone said. Is this the little cat where you could change the clothes on it? Yeah, this is a coin I would never buy. These are the kind of memes I would never buy, is like 10th generation dog and cat coins. Let's see. All right, so losing daily trends is pretty crap, right? Any kind of altcoin, you don't want these to lose daily trends, and if it does, you want it to reclaim these pretty quickly. They're about to cross over. The next natural support is obviously going to be the low that took you to the high, right? So this level right here. What I would want to see, the only way that I buy meme coins where I miss the first rally is if there's a reaccumulation, right? So the way that I would buy this, and I'd be fine if I just missed a V-shaped reversal, like I wouldn't care. The only way I would personally buy this is if it just did this. If it established value at a level and then started flipping downtrends, right? And then we can speculate on upside from here, or try to buy these range lows and use this as our invalidation. So the two ways that I could build a proper risk to reward profile, longing or buying a coin like this, is the way that I would do it. I wouldn't just buy the last support, which I know is what a lot of on-chain traders do. They just have a lot of success because on-chain trading doesn't have perps, and the way that price reacts around certain levels changes when there's no like when there's no targets like that with perps. I'll just leave it at that. But I know people just blindly buy these levels, so I'm sure that'll work out for anyone that's, bidding 16 that can get a really nice bounce, 80% bounce, 50-80% bounce. All right. How do I even... Okay, hold on. I can move this here. There we go. You don't want no part of this force? I definitely don't, dude. Can you please not short my coins, by the way? Thank you. I love you. Don't short my coins. Someone said NPC. Let's look at NPC. Non-playable coin. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my god. Look at this monster. And this has been around since last summer? Jesus. This coin is the GOAT. This is the chosen one. 80 million as well. This is like... Wow. This coin is the GOAT. Why have I never heard about this one? $80 million market cap, has been in an uptrend the entire market. No chance, dude. Yeah, decent job respecting the trend. Damn. Good coin, man. Well done. Congrats if you're in this one. Not much to say. Just ride the trend. Buy the higher lows. Like, coins like this, like, there's really nothing much to say. I mean, obviously, you have more consolidation here and a bigger expansion. You basically just don't want to lose market structure, right? You want to continue making higher lows. You want to continue holding 4-hourly 100, 4-hourly 200. APW used to call it AP Wind, but rebranded to Spectre. It's a Pendle competitor at 16 million market cap. Just let's not do 16 million market cap coins. Can you check KeyCat? This is probably just $16 million market cap coin too, isn't it? I'll get to yours, Jingo, too. Okay, so good example of what I said. Like big parabola and long accumulation, right? The two places to bet on this one is either at range lows with your invalidation being range break, or look for breakout. Yeah, it doesn't look that clean. I would just say buy the range lows. $38 million market cap. Shitcoin on base. I don't know how to do fundamental analysis on these 50th generation cat and dog coins. But yeah. I know this is like not... I don't even know if this is helpful. Is this alpha? Is this helpful? Is this going to help you make financial decisions? Like, it's in a range. You want to buy range low, or you want to buy the range breakout. Either way, you want to position yourself where you can understand what your drawdown is going to be so you can build a risk profile for yourself. If you position down here, you can tell yourself, I'm willing to take X amount of dollar loss if we lose range low. If you take a range breakout trade, you're basically saying, well, if we drop back into the range, I'm willing to take X amount of dollar loss being invalidated here as well. And you're, you know, I'm assuming your high side targets are going to be all-time highs, right? So you just develop your risk profile based on that. What's up, Jonathan? ORDI? Sure. What kind of cancer did NPC cure? That's what I'm saying, bro. What is this? This is a god coin. This is a god coin. Someone should have told me about this 9 months ago. This is the best coin that anyone has ever shown me that I didn't hear about. Ever. But it's even funny. It's a meme that we use all the time. It's like a WOJAK derivative. Why not? It's funny. It's something we use naturally. It's got an insane bid. This is even on Ethereum too. Another bonus point there. Unbelievable. Yeah, I may have to buy this. May just have to just buy the top, dude. I'll just buy the top. I'll mark the top for you guys. I'll literally buy the top right here, and then it'll nuke to 0, and then you guys can all get your entries better than me. Joe, is that the smiley face? The yellow smiley face? I think Glass ran it up on Joe last year. It is. It's the yellow smiley face guy. A new all-time highs. This is nice, dude. This is nice that ETH shitcoins are getting the bid right now. I guess this is proper ETH beta, right? It's just funny to see that the entire meta across the market is just meme coins. There are no fundamental coins that are doing well. Even RWAs are getting outperformed by memes, right? When I try to use my right curve brain and say, well, tokenization, well, Larry Fink, it just all boils down to memes once again. Not good coin though. Good coin, good trend, all-time highs. Probably a good place to take profits. This is in a month. It's, what is it, done 100x? No, 20x. Still solid, man. Congrats. Don't buy the top, Doc, no. Listen, man, I'm doing a public service here. If I buy the top, the coin nukes on me, you guys get to buy cheaper, you guys make money. I'm doing a public service here. I'm doing a nice thing. I'm giving back on Memorial Day. On a bull market, the memes are the strongest. How much did Doge do last cycle? I don't know. Doge did some crazy X, over 100x. I don't know what it did bottom to top, to be honest. But yeah, typically memes do perform the best. I came into this cycle, or I came into the crypto markets last cycle during the bull market. Not really as an active participant, more as just like a buy and hold Bitcoin and Ethereum guy. And I got utterly destroyed by Dogecoin and then coped about it, and then got utterly destroyed by Shiba on the double bubble and then coped about it. And then this cycle, I said to myself, I'm not going to let that happen again. I need to make sure that I nail the next meme, which is why I pretty much bet so heavy on PEPE. But yeah, man, the memes and the speculation tend to drastically outperform any type of rational thought process fundamental coin. Not meaning that you can't get really good returns on fundamental coins, just meaning that like the maximum returns come from maximum risk, and maximum risk is going to come from coins that are openly vaporware. There are coins that are fundamental in crypto that are vaporware but are not honest about it and try to sell you on a dream, like Cardano, right? Or XRP, or whatever one of these boomer coins are that are complete scams. And then there are coins that are just like, hey, we do nothing, we provide nothing, we're here for no reason other than financial speculation. And people go, yeah, seems like a good place to gamble. Don't know if you missed this one. Just want to bump dog. Is this the right one? You gotta tell me which one of this is. I'll just keep the screen up. Yeah, and you know the risk of ruin, right? So the way that people buy meme coins is they don't look at it like a trade. They look at it like a zero hero gamble investment. The people that buy meme coins are much more risk prone, which is why you get the kind of rallies you get on meme coins. No one's like thinking rationally, oh, okay, it's at range high, I should take profits. They just kind of like YOLO it, you know, they just send it. That's why you get insane parabolas, and that brings more people to crypto, and that brings this like wealth effect of people getting rich on memes in the trenches and then bidding other coins, and it just creates this nice cycle of, wow, this guy got rich, let's put him in the news, let's talk about this, and more people come to crypto for that dream. So really at the at the baseline of everything, crypto memes kind of run crypto. So this one, huh? Yeah, okay. So I think this is going to be like an early ranger, right? So I would look at it like this. Yeah, I would look at it something like this, right? And just say, this is probably an early range. That's your range high. That's your range low. You don't want to set a lower low here. You want to buy this as close to the range low as possible and hope that this develops a range, and then look for the next breakout. $182 million market cap already? Insane. Own the Doge. Join the community that collectively owns the iconic Doge NFT via dog. Interesting concept. Interesting concept. All right, Gummy. Let's look at Gummy. We'll do a couple more. This is the first time I've ever, I think, pulled up Deck Screener here. So you basically just want this to form a base, right? Since it's basically bleeding down and it's in a downtrend, what you need to see is two things. You need to see either sustained price action at a certain level, right? Maybe it's this level right here. It's still early to say, but maybe it's this level right here. And then you want a market structure break. So you want this to set a higher high at some point. You know, any one of these highs, you want one of these highs to get taken out so that you can speculate on downtrend ending, right? And the start of either a range or a brand new uptrend, right? One of two things can happen once you break a downtrend. Either you immediately set a higher low and you start, ripping in the opposite direction, or, you've broken market structure and that's the start of your range, right? This is what you want to see, whether that occurs exactly at the 70 level, whether that continues bleeding and then occurs right here. The place that you want to buy coins like this that are just completely bleeding out is once a base is formed and once market structure is broken and once, EMAs have flipped bullish. Right, so I just erase all my drawings. You'll see that even like the EMAs just give you a perfect guide of a downtrend. All right, let's go back to trading view. All right, gents. Any final questions or chart requests that I can do on TradingView? I'll get to. But I think we covered a lot today. We covered kind of like expectations for price, thoughts on Bitcoin, thoughts of Ethereum, ETH, ETF, the dynamic and flow changes between SOL leading the market and ETH leading the market, whether or not ETH BTC bottom is in, how that's going to affect Bitcoin dominance if the ETH BTC's bottom is in, how that may affect the flows of alts and risk, Solana on his USD pair, Solana's ETH pair. We talked about some pair trades and how we can get, how we can bet on the outperformance on one asset versus another. And we used WIF and PEPE as a really nice example of seeing, you can visualize these on charts of how market structure breaks and how this uptrend breaks and how it ranges like broken back down, how we lose daily trends and how we can bet on the outperformance of one coin versus another and not necessarily bet on the downfall of a coin, just be betting on the fastest horse. And I think that's what pair trading solves. And I think that's what's so bullish about Pair Protocol. And like I said, next week, I'm going to give you guys probably a demo into the protocol itself. I just want to make sure that I don't like dox wallets and stuff. That's my first time like actually putting the web browser on stream. So I want to make sure that everything's good there. And then I'll kind of walk you guys through and take some trades on Pair. We'll walk through the platform because I think honestly, one of the only decent, and I want to say honestly, like this is not biased. This is not because it's sponsored. It's completely unbiased opinion. Nothing this cycle has excited me, to be honest. There's nothing that's that cool. Like there's 50 dexes that come out a week. There's new L2s, who cares about? There's 500 meme coins. There's new DeFi products that don't really change anything. Athena is more or less just changing the way that we Ponzi something, right? There's nothing that valuable. Even our AI coins aren't that exciting, but at least a tool like Pair that allows me to speculate on the performance, underperformance, or outperformance on one asset versus another, where I can use cross margin, meaning I don't need to have kind of infinite margin on the short side of a coin. Like if let's give you guys an example. If I want to open this trade on Bybit, right? If I want to open this trade on Bybit and I want to short WIF and long PEPE, well, what happens is that if WIF just starts going up, I need a lot of margin to continue to have that position open, because you're essentially going to get liquidated on that position eventually while your PEPE position's going up. Even if you're correct on the trade, even if you're making money on one side and losing money on the other side, you could still get kind of liquidated on that position being correct. But a product like Pear, like, you don't need that infinite margin, right? You don't need to continue to protect the short side indefinitely. It'll pull margin from your winner to cover your loser, and you'll still make money on the difference, right? So you'll be completely outperforming on this down leg with no risk and no thought process of, oh my God, you know, like, I'm correct, but I don't have enough margin to cover the short side of one position. So I think that is a pretty nice development that we have in our industry. And I'm pretty excited to use this actively as they continue adding more and more and more pairs. Like, I'm super stoked that they added the whiff pair like yesterday, so I can actually take that you know, with PEPE trade on Pear and not just do it on Bybit with like an absurd amount of margin. Celestia about to end the downtrend, I think. I don't even have TIA on my chart, bro. Could be. Could be. You could be correct. So the trade here, break the daily downtrend, you're going to get a nice gap, right? Nice gap right into the weekly trends, confluent with this range, right? Confluent with this SR, confluent with this range low. This will be a banger trade on TIA. And thanks for pointing that out. I might actually end up taking this one myself. And then beyond this, range reclaim would be confluent with a weekly trend reclaim. And this is where you could probably take this back to range highs slowly, probably not in one trade, but you know, eventually it'll probably make its way back to range highs. But the trade that's present at the moment hasn't set up yet, but it's one worth keeping an eye on. One worth keeping an eye on. This is a nice rounded bottom. These are nice higher lows, right? Anything up in this position right here would be a pretty nice place to bet on long, right? The same kind of mentality that we used for token. You know, you break, I defend, you put in a big breakout, I can defend that. I know where my invalidation is. Similar situation here where if we put in like a God candle over this daily trend, we know that, you know, daily trend loss is your invalidation. That's your RR. You're taking it all the way up to here. Probably take profit one at this liquidity, right? So good one to pay attention to. Thanks for bringing that one up. Doc still has his Celestia hedge short, which he's held for 1,000 days, dude. I did not do well, and I'm going to be the first person to tell you this. I did not do well trading TIA from a spot perspective. Like, perp trading, totally fine. I mispositioned in TIA a couple times. I really wanted this position. I was too distracted in the market. I thought I had more time to, you know, accumulate this. I didn't really want to sell Solana right away. I didn't really want to reposition out of other coins. I missed this entire banger rally, even though this was something that I planned on buying when it got listed. And then on the way down, I positioned right here on this like pretty damn good positioning off this weekly trend tag, just kind of using this as my bias and saying, look, you know, prior resistance, flip to support, held, we lose the daily trend, we get the gap fill, I'm positioning off this wick, amazing bounce that I never hedge shorted, I never took the short here, never hedged, never took profits, full round trip on the spot, got the bounce, hedged my bag, traded around this a little bit, didn't end up making, you know, basically made fuck all doing all these shenanigans. And that was kind of just my bias of thinking that the weekly trend will hold, because the weekly chart did look really good for a little bit, right? Weekly demand, weekly trend, bled multiple weeks in a weekly demand and weekly trend. This is a trade that you guys see me taking so often. That's worked really well for me, just as recent as Prime, right? This is the same setup, weekly demand, weekly trend, right? Phenomenal trade here. Same thing I took on TIA, just didn't work out for me. And the way that I played it was not great. We're taking TIA to $4. Dude, take it to $4. I had one place where I thought I had the best opportunity from an RR perspective to take a position on TIA, and I was wrong. And whatever. Oh, Nexus, you asked me to check ORDI. My bad, brother. I just remembered that. Man. Typically you bring me really good coins. This one doesn't look that great. I think locally speaking, it probably looks fine because you had your, nuke capitulation, losing range lows, cleaning up all the liquidity, right? And it's pretty much TIA, right? This is like the TIA chart pretty much, right? You had a long-standing range or distribution, you nuked through it, you lost daily and weekly trends. If and when you get that daily trend squeeze, you can look to take profits in the weekly trends. If and when you get the weekly trend reclaim, you can look to play it to new all-time highs or at least this liquidity here. The most bullish thing is this whole thing ends up being your shakeout and reaccumulation, right? And then you could look to play this trend reversal. But you know me, I don't really like playing downtrends. I'll take one stab at things if it's at the weekly trend, like right here. If you lose the daily trend, I'll probably look to defend this. If you lose the weekly trend, I'm not going to be comfortable holding this bag. So that's the way that I see ORDI. Definitely looks kind of like TIA. Like I don't really see a difference here. Let's actually pull this up again. Pretty much the same thing. It's almost the same chart. Big distribution, long downtrend, lost weeklies, lost dailies, accumulating below range low, looking for the gap fill from daily to weekly, looking for the SR reclaim or the range low reclaim to play trend continuation upwards. I think ORDI is almost the exact same thing. Yeah, pretty much. I think maybe we get to 20s, but if that holds 20s. Okay. Yeah, you're looking for the full reversal here. I think we'll do spaces soon. You know what? I've never asked you, Nexus, but I'm actually interested because we trade very different strategies. And I'm always curious why we would want like a full, like why would we want a full reversal on a coin before buying it, right? Wouldn't you want to buy something that the market is showing strength because that means it could go higher versus buying something that is, come to the ideal re-entry? I think it's just difference in strategies, which by the way, if you guys don't follow Nexus, follow Nexus Blade Runner. I'm pretty sure that's your exact handle on Twitter. Nexus is one of the few people that I can consider killer traders on CT. You guys look at how many people I follow. I only follow like 200 people. So if I follow someone, it means that I respect them greatly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I would say if you're bullish on ORDI, you would want this to be reclaimed and buy this higher and long this higher versus wanting this to come to 20. At least that's the way that I see it. There you go, Jingo. Thank you. So WOJAK looks like the next best sleeper meme. I think WOJAK and Apu both have a lot of upside. I think, like I said, Apu is probably the only PEPE beta that'll make $1 billion market cap. And I think WOJAK is just the most disgusting mispricing I've ever seen on a meme coin. I don't know how the market's sleeping on this one, but I pointed it out to several people like last week or 2 weeks ago, and maybe it's luck that we got the ETH ETF approval and WOJAK started ripping at the same time, or maybe it's charts, maybe it's trend, probably a bit of both. But yeah, I think the market is completely mispricing that one. I think it's going to be an obvious in hindsight trade. Nexus is going to short all our coins. I think Say is just like Tia as well. Yeah, these are my plans on Say, right? The fact that it's not perfectly lining up trends in SR means that I'm going to prefer price action. So I want the candle above here. I want this reclaim of this level. And then I want to bid into any kind of shallow pullback for continuation, or maybe just spot positioning, right? Maybe even spot positioning here as I can be like, okay, well, this is a, layer one play, new generation, whatever it's called, parallel execution. Maybe Monad gets hyped, and this is that, proxy play for Monad again, which is basically why I bought Say here, right? I bought it into trends, I bought it into support, and I was handed this. And the idea was just left curve. This is the play on Monad. This is the parallelization play or whatever. And maybe that sparks up again. But once again, I'm not going to be buying it. I'm not going to be buying it here because I personally don't have conviction. If this is a coin that I had turbo conviction in, I would buy it under range lows, which, you know, brings me back to an example from Pepe. When it did this last summer, I bought the lows. Right? When it had its own range low deviation combined with FUD underneath it, you know, underneath downtrends, I bought here, right? So this doesn't apply to the system. This is just conviction. So yeah, if I had conviction in Say or TIA or ORDI or any other coin that looks like that, I'd be buying it. But since I don't care, and I would just allow the system to guide me and play into strength. Just like FTM, yeah, dude. No thanks. No more. No cartel coins for us. We're not doing the FTM OTC buying whatever shenanigans that are going on. I wish I did that on Sol though. I wish I had the opportunity to buy Sol at $60 or whatever people did. WOJAK up 71% today. Is it? Is it ripping during the stream? Oh, nice. It is. New all-time highs. Hashtag liquidate Nexus. Nexus is in a mental short on WOJAK, and it's our duty to liquidate him. I don't think I have the influence to pump a coin, bro. I definitely don't. I'm not even a shit coiner. Like I don't even do stuff on chain. I did ENA a little while ago. All right, brothers, let's call it there. We've been going for 2 hours. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Monday. I hope you guys enjoy your Memorial Day. I hope you guys have time with your family and your friends. Take a minute to show gratitude into this world for all the opportunities that are provided through crypto every single day. We get to wake up and long complete vaporware and shitcoinery and make money off of it. What a blessing. What a time to be alive. The freest market in the world. And I know that has nothing to do with Memorial Day, but I'm just, being grateful anyways, because it's a day to be grateful. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next time. And if you guys could hit the like button on your way out, I would appreciate that as well. Take care. Bye-bye.
Information making me question our relation to the nation, our religion, supersonic. My existence can't resist us. Clearly, I find myself living inside a shell. All of these pages can't help. Got all my introspect. Mirrors, they don't reflect all of the things that we do. My existence. What's that? Supersonic, my existence can't resist us, can't resist us. Supersonic. What's that?